Hello to all. We'd like to welcome Sunil Nayak today, a man with wide experience and exposure. So today, as you've come to a B school that is known to be different from the rest of the B schools that we see around, what is it that you see in our student base that you feel we are industry ready with our student population? Do you feel we are doing our curriculum? Do you feel we are doing our teaching methodology with students in the right perspective? What's your viewpoint, sir?
So thank you for inviting me here. It's always a pleasure interacting with students, young minds. What we see from an organizational perspective is how do we ensure that young talent or young professionals are skilled right. Reskilling, ensuring that you are coming in with the right capability to be employed and to be employed gainfully is very, very important. Most organizations reach out to professional institutes like this to try and understand and gain knowledge about how your teaching methodologies change, how your functions or your skill sets that you're going ahead and highlighting are changing. And I see that shift happening in organizations or institutes like yours. It gives us a lot of confidence that the pass outs, the graduates from here would have the right kind of capability to take on whatever is changing, because we are living in a very volatile and uncertain world. So we need people who are capable of taking on a wide range of skill sets and handling a lot of challenges. We see that here, and we hope that they continue to do the same on an ongoing basis.
My question to you is, when we are heading towards a career, we make a lot of mistakes, and we also think like these are the things that we should have known before. So what are the advice you want to give to our students, like this is the path that you need to follow so that you can make better decisions in life?
Thank you for the question, Deepika, and good afternoon. I'll address it this way, right? One of the areas that I want you to understand as young professionals is that making a mistake is not the end. You're working for maybe around 30 years, and in those 30 years, this is your first step. In your first step, you have a lot of opportunities to go ahead and make and change, etc. You make every opportunity that you have, you need to take it and move ahead. I heard a very interesting quote that people said, at any point of time you need to do two things. One, you need to be interested. Keep doing whatever you're doing on an ongoing basis, or be interesting. Always ensure that you're done something that allows you to go ahead and reach out to as many people as possible. That's all that I could say, right? Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
So one more question from my end. In the corporate world today, people are switching jobs in 2 and 3 years' time. So do you believe that upskilling is going to be the future of industry, or do you believe that you should be stable in one environment and stay there for the next 10 years and then look at moving forward, etc., etc.? So what's your belief in terms of talent today when they look at moving rapidly from one industry to the other, let's say a 2 to 3 year cycle?
According to me, learning is a lifelong exercise. You can't stop learning. You need to learn to grow. Based on the industry, based on your experience, it could be 2 years, 3 years, 10 years, it could be a year. I can't go ahead and put a framework and say, hey, listen, in 2 years you're ready, you need to reskill, right? Who would have thought 2 years back that teaching needed to get into or know how to work on Zoom? But then I have to reskill. Even if I've got 10 years of experience, in that 1 year I had to go ahead and learn how to use Zoom, right? So you need to go with the times. I think change is happening too fast nowadays. I won't be able to go ahead and agree to go ahead and say that, hey, listen, 10 years is the time that I will do well in, and then I shift. If I have to shift, I have to learn, and that learning has to be continuous. That's what I would say.
So my next question to you is, like, as we all know that data is very important nowadays and everybody is going towards the data-driven approach. So what is the impact of HR analytics? As we know, HR analytics is totally data-driven. So how the HR analytics is impacting the HR as a department?
Good question, right? So, HR as a function predominantly use data as a lag indicator.
Yes.
That is, attrition, as we all know, is a data point that we all evaluate and measure. But attrition is after the person has left. I can't do anything for that person.
Right.
Can I use data to prevent attrition? Can I use data to go in and understand what's happening prior to a person leaving? That becomes an interesting tool that we could go about doing. Can I move it from a lag indicator to a lead indicator? That will help. So if I look at data, I think using systems, using the data, the quantum of data that's available, I think a system or a program can do it far better than any of us. But what do I use that data for and how do I evaluate it is what we'll have to go ahead and get into. So predictive analytics in terms of employee management, engagement, trying to understand how we can work with people better is what we will need to do going forward. Right? I think that's where I see the focus coming as far as data analytics is concerned. Right? And interestingly, that's not the only area. Right? So you've got things like augmented reality.
Yes.
Can I use that for learning and development? Those are areas that are also interestingly coming in.
Right.
So a lot of interesting areas, exciting times to be in any industry, irrespective of the fact that data and automation is coming in.
Right, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
sir.
sir.